Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, depending where in the world you are joining us from. And thank you for joining this second information session organised by the Research Data Alliance and Microsoft on global community priorities for Agentic AI in research. So my name is Connie Clare, and I'm the Community Development Manager at the Research Data Alliance, which is a global community-driven initiative comprising more than 16,000 data experts from around the world, from more than 150 different countries, who share the common vision and mission to build the social and technical bridges that enable open sharing and reuse of data across technologies, disciplines, and countries. And at the heart of everything that we do within the RDA, including this initiative, are our 6 guiding principles of openness, consensus, inclusivity, harmonization. We are community driven and non-profit and technology neutral, which means that all of our deliverables and outputs are available to anybody anywhere in the world to adopt and reuse, and there is no technology lock-in at the point of their delivery. So we have 45 minutes scheduled for this online session today. I will get us started with an introduction to the partnership and also this global community consultation that we're running on Agentic AI in research throughout the month of November. And we want to hear from our community about their use of Agentic AI. And so I'll be handing over to one of our experts in the community, Dr. Moji Gadimi, who will talk about how to build your own literature review Agentic AI. We'll then also hear a video recording from Ryan, who can't be here at this time, and he will share a bit more about Agentic AI in the research lifecycle. And then I'd like to hand over to you, the participants, for a feedback session on Menti, where you will be able to share your perspectives on Agentic AI before the closing remarks and next steps. So I'd like to remind you that this session is being recorded and the presentational aspects will be shared openly on the RDA web platform. Please do mute your mic just to minimize any background noise. We do like to see your faces, so it's nice to see some of you have your cameras on. If you're happy and comfortable to keep them on, that would be great. And this is an RDA organised event, so we will be adhering to the RDA's Code of Conduct. And I'd like to remind you, please, to listen openly and respect all perspectives shared. We appreciate that AI is somewhat contentious. Everybody has different opinions, but please do adhere to the scope of the session today. And if you do have any questions, comments, or constructive feedback about this session or the initiative more broadly, my colleague Trish will be posting some collaborative notes. You're able to drop them down in there if you wish to, but you can also directly contact the RDA Secretary General, Hilary Hanaho. Her email is on the slides here and in the collaborative notes. So the Research Data Alliance values working with the private sector. We believe that if we want to advance open science and research data management, then we can't work in a silo, we have to work together. And by working with private organisations, it allows us to facilitate high impact community activities on topics of mutual interest, such as AI. It also bridges industry innovation with academic research infrastructure needs. And for the private sector, it allows them to collaborate with academics from all around the world, create co-branded outputs, gain global visibility, and contribute towards shaping open science and research data management practice. But also from the volunteer RDA community perspective, it injects for professional facilitation support. It can speed up timelines to deliverables and also provides a real-world adoption and implementation perspective. And importantly, everything that's done within this framework adheres to those 6 guiding principles that I shared on the previous slide. So we have already been collaborating with Microsoft earlier this year on expert roundtables. The first was on data readiness and data-centric AI, and the second was on high performance and quantum computing. And these complex and comprehensive discussions with the community led to the publication of open white papers with a series of recommendations from the community. One of those recommendations was to invest in automated data preparation tools. And there was an emergent need to have more skilling in the topic of Agentic AI. And so with that in mind, we thought it would be a good idea to focus this community consultation on Agentic AI in support of science and research. And so what we want to do is understand how the community is currently using Agentic AI, if it's being used, What are the needs and priorities, but equally, what are the challenges and concerns that might exist? And where could or how could agentic AI have the greatest impact throughout the research lifecycle? So we have opened a 15-minute anonymous community survey, which if you haven't already completed, I would like to invite you to do that. The more voices and perspectives that we hear, the better and more well-rounded and balanced the report can be for the community. And depending on the priorities of the community, we would like to work with the community in the beginning of next year in 2026 on an open technology agnostic blueprint for a priority AI agent. And that will all be confirmed and decided once we gather as much information from the community as possible. So I'd like to start before handing over to Moji about giving a very high level definition of agentic AI. So in this context, it refers to artificial intelligence systems that possess autonomy, goal-directed reasoning, and the ability to act independently with minimal human oversight or intervention, unlike a traditional AI model, which would typically respond to direct prompts. Now, this is a disclaimer that this definition is being used for the purpose of this initiative. We recognise that the broader community will probably hold different definitions, perspectives, and understandings and opinions on this topic. And so we're very happy to hear those. If you'd like to share them in the chat or add them to the collaborative notes, we'll make sure that we consider those in the report.